Okay, so I just did a live and I talked about the fact I just did a live and I talked about the fact that I'm watching the matchmaking special for Married at First Sight and that I'm gonna review the show. But are those his parents? Oh, bruh. And I can't help but go ahead and make a comment about this. So on Married at First Sight's matchmaking special, they were talking to one of the guys who's gonna be on the show. His name is Tristan Thompson. He's the only black person on the show this season. So I initially noticed that he was paired with somebody who was not black, but I was like, oh, okay, it's their first interracial couple that I can think of, Well, no, Lily and Tom were an interracial couple because she was like Hispanic or something. I was like, oh, they matched a black dude with somebody who's not black. Okay, cool. Let's see how this goes. So, somebody said, Travis, please go off, or I'm so hot. So, they're talking to him, Pastor Robertson, Kyle is talking to him, and they're asking the different potential people about, was it deal breakers? I thought they were talking about deal breakers first. So they were talking about ethnicities. And this fool says he doesn't want to date anyone darker than him. Okay, y'all. He's black. And I'll probably say he's lighter than me. Would you say he's lighter than me? Yeah, he looked like he's lighter than me. So he said that he would not date anyone darker than him. Now, people who are not familiar with issues within the African American community, that kind of stuff probably just goes over your head. You don't think anything about it. But comments like that are so problematic. It is so problematic because what people don't understand when it comes to TT, I'm trying to, okay, go ahead. Okay, come on. What people don't understand about comments like that is that colorism is a serious issue within the African American black community. Years ago, there was something called the brown paper bag test, and it literally was, if you were lighter than a brown paper bag, you were considered better than those who were not lighter than a brown paper bag. And the truth of the matter is, colorism still exists today. It's not a secret that African Americans who are lighter are often seen as on a higher pedestal than African Americans who are darker. And it stems, to my knowledge, because I took African American studies a long time ago when I was in undergraduate school, but it stems essentially from slavery. The lighter slaves were the ones that were usually in the house, usually who served the master, and the darker slaves were the ones out in the field. Most of the time, the lighter slaves were lighter because they were products of the master. So like the master would rape the women, and that child would be obviously mixed because the master raped one of the slaves, and so that's why they were lighter skinned some of the time. So that's kind of where it started, and it's just evolved from now. There are people who have thrown light skin versus dark skin parties, saying if you're light skin, you get in for free. If you're dark skin, you don't get in for free. I mean, it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing, and unfortunately, it seems like in my experience, I've heard men kind of sound more stupid than women. I don't have my words together right now because I couldn't really believe he just said that on national television. But for the most part, I feel like I hear men say it more than women about lighter skinned people or whatever. But those kind of things are not good. What is she, though? She's one of those racially ambiguous people. Like, you don't really know what she is, but she ain't black. I can tell you that much. She's not black. I can tell you that much.
She looks like she might be mixed or Latina.
I don't know what she is, but she's what he wants. But that is a problem for him to get on national television and say he doesn't want to date anyone blacker than him. And then they were just in his house, darker than him. And they were just in his house. And I believe that was either his parents or his grandparents. And they were dark. His parents or either his grandparents were dark. Okay? Like, I almost said a bad joke. and his grandmother the shade of esterol. He really tried it, self-hatred. Yeah, that was her complexion. And I just think it's important that all black people understand that no matter what your complexion is within the scope of blackness, that there is not one shade that's better than the other. And it's so important for us to educate other people and help them to understand that that's the case, because people outside of the African American community, they probably sometimes have those same fears. I mean, if you were to think about a black man who is dressed in a dark-skinned black man who's dressed in baggy clothing and a light-skinned man who's dressed in baggy clothing, I'll be willing to bet that if they approach a certain kind of person, the darker skinned male will get a different reaction than the lighter skinned male. That's an assumption I'm making. I may sound ignorant for making that assumption, but that's just what I believe. But I just can't believe he said that. I mean, and I know, excuse me, I know everybody has their preference. I get that. I had my preferences when I was dating, but my preferences were never about I don't even think I had ethnic preferences. And within my ethnic preferences, I didn't have skin tone preferences. Like, I never can remember as a grown, sane thinking adult saying that I want to date a girl who's light skinned or I want to date a girl who's dark skinned. Like, that's just not, that doesn't mean anything. I've had a girlfriend who was dark skinned. I've had a girlfriend who was light skinned. Obviously, I married her. But her skin tone didn't matter because I was, I hope this don't offend you, I was in love with the girl that was dark skinned when we were together. I mean, Carmen's boyfriends before me were dark. They were real dark. But I mean, that's beside the point. But I mean, that's just, it is what it is. She wasn't really feeling the light-skinned guys like that. It had to come show what it was about. Those are jokes. Those are jokes. I'm not being serious. But the thing is, we both dated people all up in the spectrum. There's not one that's better than the other. One doesn't taste different. It's like dark meat. That's a lie, right?
I don't know.
That's a lie. Exactly. So the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. That pertains to fruit. That pertains to fruit. Maybe he was hurt and no one talked to him about it growing up, I guess. And that could very well be part of it. Something that I did notice that I don't really know if it is a connection. He is a former basketball player. And I don't remember where they said he played for, but it wasn't. No, he did. I think it was. I saw read that he played for the Spurs. Antonio Spurs? Is that a team? San Antonio Spurs. So he played. That's NBA, right?
Yeah.
So he played for the NBA. And, sometimes when you look at black male, well, they're only males in the NBA. When you look at male NBA players, like I said it again, when you look at black NBA players and you look at who their significant others are, sometimes they look away. They look a certain kind of way. They fit a certain description. So I think it could be that something happened to him when he was younger, but part of it could just be a conditioning thing that he's gone through where he really believes somewhere deep down inside of him that lighter is better, and it's not. And he is too old to be on TV saying this kind of stuff. Y'all, I'm not going to say that he's canceled because I'm not the kind of person. Ma'am.
She helping you out. She giving her 2 cents.
TT, what you want to add? What you want to say about it? Oh, now you want to say nothing. So it's a conditioning thing that I think a lot of people go through. Yeah, he's almost 30. He it's no excuse for it. His maturity level is not where it needs to be. Come here, because clearly you want to talk. All right, so what you want to say? What you got to add to the conversation? What you got to add? Because you're making all that noise. You want to say something. All right, go ahead and say what you got to say.
Say, woo, light skin.
Okay, thank you. So, I mean, clearly man, it's unfortunate. But I mean, it's a real thing that happens within the African American community. There are a lot of people who think that light skin is better. I mean, there are people who think that dark skin is better. But the thing is, there's not one side that's better than the other, and we gotta stop letting people put that out there because they showed that on purpose. And see, it might be a subliminal thing, but they aired that on purpose. She said she believes preferences should not be said in public. I think some preferences are okay to say in public. And I don't think there was really a way for him to clean that up or say it in a way that wasn't gonna sound bad. Like there was no way for him to say that. You know, if he would have said, I don't want to date black women, it still would have sounded bad. If he would have said, there's nothing he could have said really to make it sound better. You know, I think preferences like I don't like someone who smokes or I like someone who has an active lifestyle. I think those preferences, you know, are okay to say in public. But if you really have preferences like that regarding like skin tone, yeah, that your best bet probably is to keep that kind of stuff to yourself. But what I was saying is that I think Lifetime aired that on purpose. I can't tell you why, but they had the full ability to edit that out. We didn't get every contestant that's about to be on it. We didn't get their answer to the ethnicity question, but we got his. The only black person on the show, we got their opinion on what they wanted ethnic wise. And that was completely intentional in my opinion. So I'm gonna stick around and watch and see how his character is. But he definitely seems to have some self-hatred issues going on right now. So I got my good eye, my real good eye on him. So she said the white guy said he wanted a white girl. Oh y'all. Dang, they're starting already. So y'all let me know, for those who end up watching this video later, who are not watching it live, y'all let me know what y'all think. If y'all saw it, what y'all think about the conversation of colorism in general within the African-American community. And do you think that that's a conversation that should be broadcasted to the world? Do you think it's better for it to hit the biggest nose
and the biggest lips, and you don't want nobody talking to you?
I remember there was a white woman last time. She says she only likes black men. She didn't get on the show. Oh, see, I don't watch the matchmaking special. You know, I just ranted about that in the other video. But yeah, he's blackety black regarding his facial features. The only thing that's not, you know, traditionally black, I guess you can say, is his skin tone. But yeah, it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. I don't support it. I don't support the tearing down of skin tone. I don't. So y'all let me know what y'all think. She doing the most, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Somebody said Carmen LMAO. Oh, that bunch of O's. So y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm going to get off of here. Hopefully, Tristan. And y'all, unfortunately, he got the same last name as me. Thompson's just, you know. Technically, I'm not a Thompson, though.
Girl.
My paternal granddad was adopted by the Thompson family. So technically, I'm not a Thompson. So, you know, I might have to not claim this last name anymore. But hopefully, Mr. Thompson doesn't say anything else that's problematic moving forward. I really hope. And something interesting, they got an old couple on here. You know, not to be like ageist or whatever, but I don't remember ever seeing a couple that age, 36 and 37.
But I think maybe 31, 32, 33.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone that. Oh, she's definitely gonna be trying. Well, she already said she's ready to have babies, so that's the train she's gonna be on.
Gonna be knocked up tomorrow.
So, all right, y'all. We will talk to y'all later. Well, I will talk to y'all later, and we're gonna keep our fingers crossed that Mr. Tristan doesn't say anything else ignorant. But my hopes are like here. They're not high. They're here. All right, y'all. Let me get off here. Talk to y'all later. Peace.